The Jets face the Patriots on Sunday in a huge AFC East matchup. Today, I join one of my favorite colleagues, Mike Debate, the host of Locked On Patriots. We talk key storylines, key matchups, and predictions today on the Locked On Jets podcast.
You are Locked On Jets, your daily New York Jets podcast. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Patriots fans and Jets fans, that's right. It is time to cross the streams as these two AFC East rivals get set to do battle on Sunday, October 30th, 1 p.m. kickoff at MetLife Stadium. That's right, folks. Welcome to Crossover Thursday here on the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day. I'm Mike Debate, host of Locked On Patriots, and I am very fortunate, very honored, and very pleased to be joined by my good friend and colleague, John Butchko, host of Locked On Jets. John, we always enjoy these crossovers. Always a lot of fun doing these, my friend.
Mike, I think it's a beautiful thing. This is such a heated rivalry, but we always have a good time chatting with each other. We showed Jets and Patriots fans can get along, right?
Absolutely. If I can change and you can change, all right, we're not going to go into a whole Rocky IV thing here, folks, but you get the idea. Two sides can coexist, and we are going to cross the streams today here on Locked On Patriots and Locked On Jets. But of course, Crossover Thursday is presented by our friends at PrizePicks. PrizePicks is so much fun, and it's so easy to play. There's no competing with other players, so you're not competing with John or myself. It's just you versus the projections available. And you pick 2 to 5 players, and if they score more or less than their PrizePicks projection, you can win up to 10 times your money on your entry. It can literally take less than 60 seconds to enter. That's right, folks. It's that easy to do. We love PrizePicks. We know that you will too. And first-time users can receive a 100% instant deposit match up to $100 with the promo code Locked On. That is PrizePicks.com, promo code Locked On. And John, I know this is one that's been circled on the calendars of both fan bases. Now, regardless of the record of either of these teams, Patriots and Jets is always a lot of fun to break down. It's always a lot of fun for the fan bases. It's always a lot of fun for us. This is a game with playoff implications on both sides of the ball, and your New York Jets are in the driver's seat right now. I don't care what the odds makers or our good friends over at BetOnline.net say. Right now, the Jets are playing pretty good football, and they are a team to be reckoned with. But the Patriots got some news today on the quarterback position. We're going to talk about that in just a moment, but being as it may, John, when you look at the big storylines right now surrounding the New York Jets, what has been arguably the biggest storyline, and what do you think could be the biggest storyline heading into this Week 8 matchup with the New England Patriots?
Mike, the biggest storyline is that the Jets are 5-2. Nobody saw this coming. It's been a really long time since the Jets have played competitive football. Even talking about the Jets being in the mix, a couple years ago, they went 7-9, but that was a year in 2019. They went 7-9. So you say, oh, they were around 500, but they started that year 1-7. So they were never a factor in the AFC playoff race that year. You go back to 2017, they started that season 3-2. And, by Jets recent standards, 3-2 is, in the mix. But that team was, bottom of the league talent wise. I think we knew that it was not sustainable. The Jets are 5-2. I still can't. I'll say it over and over because I can't believe it. Heading into this season, the objective was play competitive football, and it's kind of funny because I speak with Jets fans now, and I hear people worried about how they match up with Buffalo and Kansas City, and I'm saying, wait, now we're complaining that we don't match up with Buffalo and Kansas City. I mean, at the start of the year, we were saying let's hope the Jets win a couple games. So it's been an amazing ride. Jets are playing great defense. The defensive line has been phenomenal the last couple of weeks. They have 2 outstanding corners, actually 3 outstanding corners, Sauce Gardner and DJ Reed on the outside, Michael Carter the second inside in the slot. And the offense is, hasn't been great, but it's doing enough. Now, that brings me into the more micro storyline, was the storyline that could impact the game this week. And that's that they had a couple key injuries on the offensive side of the ball. They lost running back Breece Hall for the year. Breece Hall was playing at a level he would have been, if not the runaway choice, a top contender for offensive rookie of the year. He was carrying the load on offense. And for numerous reasons, which I'm sure we'll get into, Jets have not gotten a lot out of their passing game the last couple of weeks. But on top of that, the Jets lost Elijah Vera Tucker to an injury also against Denver, just as they lost Breece Hall. Vera Tucker's been a sensational story this year for the Jets. He started the year at right guard. Because the Jets suffered 4 different injuries at the tackle position, he had to kick out to left tackle for 1 week. Then he moved over to right tackle. So he's played 3 different positions. He played all 3 well. None of these 3 positions, by the way, were the position he played a year ago. He was the left guard a year ago. So Elijah Vera Tucker is really going to be missed. So really exciting. I can't believe the Jets are 5-2 heading into this game.
Yeah.
But the big storyline heading into this game, which could impact the outcome, are these 2 injuries, because the Jets lost arguably their 2 best offensive players for the year last week against Denver. Now, Mike, let me turn the question to you. What's the big storyline with the Patriots?
Well, obviously, the big storyline with the Patriots is the quarterback conundrum. I had a little fun at the expense of it earlier this week with Sports Illustrated, writing a pretty good satirical, I think, combination of what's going on there. If you've ever seen the movie Clue, folks, you want to check that out. But apparently Bill Belichick has made his decision, because on Wednesday afternoon, news broke that the New England Patriots would in fact be starting Mac Jones coming up in Week 8. He apparently has won this quarterback competition, at least for now. Took 90% of the Patriots snaps in practice on Wednesday. And this coming off of the heels of really, I think, just a bizarre situation, John. I don't think anybody really saw the way that the Patriots 33-14 loss to the Bears unfolded on Monday night. Not so much that they lost to the Bears. That was a surprise, but this is the NFL. You prepare yourself for any given Sunday, really any given Monday night. A team can come in and take it to you and beat you. But it was the manner in which Jones started the game. 2 offensive series, 2 3-and-outs, then all of a sudden throws a really ill-timed and very just a bad decision, fumbling for words, but a bad decision on his part, throwing into the hands of Jaquan Brisker, who absolutely did a tremendous job making that one-handed interception. And then Mac Jones is pulled. Bailey Zappi comes in, and the rookie sensation comes in, leads the Patriots to 2 consecutive scoring drives, 14-10 lead. Everyone's thinking, there it is. Mac just lost his job. Zappi fever forever. Let's go and ride the wave. But the Bears, to their credit, did not let their foot off of the accelerator. They continued to put pressure. They continued to utilize, I think, a real deficiency in the Patriots' defense, and they were able to get the job done and get the Patriots on their heels all night. So regardless of who you feel is going to give the Patriots the best chance to win, whether it's Zappi, whether it's Jones, Patriots have apparently made that decision, and it's going to be a tough one because, like you said, the Jets are playing extremely well on the defensive side of the ball. Those corners and those safeties, along with the front 7, are going to give Mac a lot of problems on Sunday. He's going to have to be ready, and he's going to have to be a lot sharper than he was in the opening moments against the Bears. So that right now is the big storyline when it comes to the New England Patriots, and I know Jets fans are now focusing their vitriol. No, I'm only kidding. No, they're focusing their attention on Mac Jones and the New England Patriots offense and what it's going to look like on Sunday.
Mike, let me ask you a question, because this is interesting to me that they're kind of not tipping their hand. I know today the news broke that Mac Jones is the quarterback, but what's interesting to me is that if you go back 21 years, which may have been the last time the Patriots had any sort of quarterback controversy, I remember they announced it was Brady versus Bledsoe, and you look back on it now and as you say, Tom, nobody knew really Tom Brady was going to turn into what he turned into at the time, or maybe some people did, but most of us did not. But what was interesting is I remember back in 2001, it was around the midway point through the season, and Drew Bledsoe was healthy again, and they announced that Tom Brady is starting for the rest of the year. This is over, because it felt like they wanted to avoid a controversy. So I'm interested in the Patriots kind of letting this thing play out and not tipping their hand and not really committing to anybody for the long haul.
Yeah, I think your guess and your question is really as good as anybody's right now in Patriots Nation. It just seemed very un-Belichickian. It seemed very un-Patriot-like for this to continue on and become a story when, in all actuality, like you said, John, it really never had to be. It may speak volumes about the Patriots' concern over Mac Jones, his ability to be able to lead this team into the future. Maybe there was lingering concern about his injury. A high ankle sprain typically is about 4 to 6 weeks recovery time, especially if we're to believe that it was as severe as originally reported. So if that's indeed the case, Maybe Bill Belichick wanted to see what the kid had, if he was going to be, able to carry the load for the full game, whether or not he was going to be hampered. He looked like he moved around pretty well on Monday night, and coincidentally, the first injury report of the week came out on Wednesday afternoon, and Mac Jones is nowhere to be found. So if he's not on the injury report, he's at full strength. So I don't think necessarily it had much to do with what was going on health-wise. I think maybe the Patriots just needed to see that for themselves on Monday night. Now that they know he can handle the load, I think that's where you're seeing the quarterback situation dissipate, and all of a sudden this controversy goes away. So, good question. I wish I had a better answer for you in terms of why Belichick put the logic out that he did, but ultimately we'll see if what his decision is the right one when the Patriots and the Jets hook it up on Sunday from MetLife Stadium. John, it's always a lot of fun discussing these matters with you. And folks, we are just scratching the surface, because even though big storylines are fun heading into these games, it's the matchups on the field that ultimately win them. And which are John and I looking at, and which ones are going to catch our sharp eye when these two AFC East division rivals hook it up in Week 8? We'll discuss that point in just a moment. But first, John, I'm not going to get philosophical or sentimental or anything like that here, because obviously AFC East rivalries are always going to bring up the emotions. But a lot of people talk about the meaning of life. They talk about what is going to be the ultimate goal for anyone in life. Maybe it's achieving wealth, or it's achieving fame, or achieving great love. Well, let me tell you, the meaning of life, folks, comfortable pants. That's right. I said it. Comfortable pants are the meaning of life. If you're wearing comfortable pants, all of a sudden, everything in life just becomes a little bit easier. If you want the most comfortable pants, shorts, lower body wear that you've ever worn in your life, definitely check out our good friends at birddogs.com. They're joggers. John, I have a pair of them. I'm telling you, they are the most comfortable pair of pants I own. If you wear shorts in the winter, and I know a lot of you in the tri-state area and the New England area do, it gets down to about 10 degrees in the winter and the fall, you definitely want to check these out. The most comfortable shorts in existence. Folks, don't delay. Do it today. Go to birddogs.com and enter the promo code Locked On, and they'll throw in a free Bird Dogs rope hat, just like you can see at the bottom of our screen right now. That's birddogs.com, promo code Locked On, and boom, a Bird Dogs rope hat with your pair of Bird Dogs will arrive. The most comfortable shorts, pants, and sweatpants with built-in liners. Folks, you will not want to take these things off. I promise you. Go to birddogs.com today. Patriots fans and Jets fans, crossovers like this are special moments. John, we always appreciate the special moments in life, right? Well, we love to commemorate these special moments, but when you want to honor the really special moments, whether you're looking to pop the question, have a milestone to celebrate, or want your love to sparkle, Blue Nile can help you make your celebrations even more memorable. As the original online jeweler, Blue Nile offers the largest selection of independently graded diamonds and pieces priced significantly below traditional retailers. If you're having trouble choosing, Blue Nile has jewelry experts on hand 24/7, available via phone or chat to help you find a memorable gift at every budget. Shop stress-free with BlueNile.com's 100% satisfactory guarantee. Blue Nile orders are insured, they're shipped for free in discreet packaging, then they also offer overnight shipping if you're in a rush. Make your moment sparkle with Blue Nile by going to BlueNile.com and using the promo code Locked On to save $50 on your purchase of $500 or more. That's BlueNile.com, code Locked On to save $50 on your purchase of $500 or more. BlueNile.com, code Locked On. Pats fans, Jets fans, we are crossing the streams here on Crossover Thursday on the Locked On Podcast Network. Mike Debate of Locked On Patriots, John Butchko of Locked On Jets. And in the previous segment, my friend, we talked a lot about the big storylines heading into this. The Jets being 5-2, some difficult injuries to overcome on the offensive side of the ball for Gang Green. For New England, it looks like it's going to be the Mac Jones show under center on Sunday when these two teams hook it up. But you and I both know it's not about the storylines. It's about the matchups on the field that are going to win this game. John, when you look at the Jets and the Patriots, which matchups are you looking towards, and which do you think will decide the outcome?
I got two for you. I have one on each side of the ball. Now, when the Patriots have the ball, I'm looking at Quinnen Williams versus Cole Strange. Quinnen Williams is playing at an all-pro level right now. He's been dominant the last few weeks. 2 weeks ago in Green Bay, I mean, he filled up the stat sheet, a couple sacks, a forced fumble, three quarterback hits, even blocked a field goal. Even the days where he's not filling up the stat sheet, though, he's making an impact. But the Patriots have a very talented young guard in Cole Strange. I kind of like the Jets matchup in this one, but Cole Strange is going to be a tough task for Quinn and Williams. Going back to the NFL draft this year, it's kind of funny. The Patriots drafted Cole Strange in the first round, and there was lots of talk about how, oh wow, this was a guy who probably was projected to go a few rounds later. And I'm not saying he's going to have the same career, but I remember back in 2005, that was literally the exact same thing everybody said about Logan Mankins. So when the Patriots drafted a guard, first round, everybody saying this is a reach. I'm like, well, let's hold on. Let's wait a minute, because I remember the last time this happened worked out pretty well for the Patriots. I'm not saying Cole Strange is going to be Logan Mankins, but I think he's off to a good start. I mean, your Patriots fans who are listening probably know better than I do. But on the other side of the ball, it's also going to be looking in the line. As I mentioned in the first segment, Elijah Vera Tucker's out. It sounds like Cedric Ogbuehi is going to replace him, a former first-round pick, but a guy who really has not lived up to first-round billing. He wasn't even part of the Jets until a few weeks ago. The Jets have had so many injuries at tackle that they've had to sign guys off the street, essentially. He'll be going up a lot against Matthew Judon. It looks like to me like Judon lines up more against the right tackle than the left tackle.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a difficult matchup for the Jets, not just because, he's a guy who, was on the practice squad a few weeks ago, a guy who was unsigned before that. Jets also have lacked continuity on the offensive line. And I think they've had issues protecting Zach Wilson. And part of the reason they've had issues isn't just that they're losing their one-on-ones, but there's a lack of communication. There have been plays, and this has been true on the right side of the line as well as the left side of the line, where they just don't block it right because they aren't used to playing with one another, where a guy may take the right guy, but maybe he's supposed to pass somebody up. Maybe he's supposed to engage somebody else and pass him off to make it easier for the guy inside him. And I worry about the lack of communication for the Jets with them essentially installing another new iteration of their offensive line. The last 3 weeks they've had the same offensive line, and those was like the most continuity the Jets have had all year, because it feels like they've been shuffling a new group every week since training camp. Now, Mike, let me turn the question to you. What are your key matchups?
Well, the key matchups are very similar to the ones that you're watching. Obviously, as a Patriots fan, you're keeping an eye on the Breece Hall injury and what it means for the Jets running game. And the Patriots run defense, although it had improved significantly against the Lions and the Browns, reverted back to some of the difficulties that they've had against the Bears. So it's kind of a Jekyll and Hyde run defense for the New England Patriots right now. Christian Barmore is such an important part of what this team does on the defensive side of the ball, not only because he's very adept at being able to get in and help with, getting after the quarterback and help, in terms of pass rush, but what he does in the run game is so underrated, because he'll take on double teams from opposing offensive lines, and that will free up guys like Matthew Judon and Dietrich Wise to be able to pin their ears back, get after the quarterback, and at that point, Barmore is taking on some of that responsibility. He was not in the lineup against the Chicago Bears, and I think the Patriots missed him an awful lot. Even though he's technically having a statistically down year, Barmore does a lot of things under the radar that a lot of people don't give him proper credit for. So that's a matchup to watch, or that's something to watch if I'm a Jets fan. If Barmore continues to be hampered by that injury, that could be an issue for the New England Patriots, even though Lawrence Guy, their longtime defensive tackle, is back and was back in the lineup against the Bears. He looked limited after a shoulder injury, so that's going to be interesting. Can the Patriots muster up enough run defense to be able to stop, the guys that the Jets are going to throw at them, like a Michael Carter, no relation to the cornerback, obviously, but this is what the Jets are going to try to do, and they're going to try to test that, even though that might be, I don't want to say a weak spot right now for them because of the injury. I think they're going to try to test what they perceive to be a weak spot in the Patriots defense, is shutting down the run. And Zach Wilson, for all his credit, can do a good job of getting, mobile if he needs to as well. He's done a tremendous job of being able to see the ball downfield. He's limited the turnovers and the negative plays this season. So If he's going to try to maybe look for the big play against this New England Patriots team, that's another matchup I'm watching. Can he do it against this secondary of Jonathan Jones, Jalen Mills, and the rookie Jack Jones, who's proven that he's got a nose for the football and can limit the big play himself? So I'm going to be watching that if I'm a New England Patriots fan, but we're not kidding ourselves. We're all going to be watching and seeing what Mac Jones can do against this secondary of the New York Jets. We alluded to it early on in the game, and I still think the Jets have the edge in this circumstance, and that's not a knock to Mac, but this trio that you mentioned earlier with, guys like DJ Reed, Sauce Gardner, and of course Michael Carter playing at a high level for the Jets, and the safety tandem as well doing a phenomenal job. This is going to be a very, very tough secondary for the New England Patriots to score on. So if they can utilize the short intermediate areas of the field, utilize play action by stimulating the run, that's going to give them the opportunity to win. But New England has to get back to basics. They have to start pulling the guards. They have to use that running game to their advantage by not only incorporating some of the outside zone, but they need to get back to basics and be a gap run team. That's where this team is at its strength, utilizing Ramondre Stevenson and Damian Harris. So those are the matchups I'm looking at right now from a New England Patriots perspective, my friend.
Well, Mike, I think these are all going to be tremendous matchups. They will all help the Jets and Patriots decide which team will become victorious. Mike, we're going to get to predictions because it's a very interesting game between these AFC East rivals. But first, I want to give you a sports analogy. When it comes to protecting your home from burglars, you want to treat your home like the end zone. You want to have defenders like Quinnen Williams and Sauce Gardner defending your home. And you want the absolute strongest defense. And that's why you should take a look at SimpliSafe Home Security. At SimpliSafe, your safety is the only thing that matters. It's cutting-edge technology powered by 24/7 professional monitoring agents who always have your back, so you always know your home is safe. With 24/7 professional monitoring, SimpliSafe's agents call you the moment a threat is detected, and they dispatch police or first responders in an emergency. Even if you're not home or can't be reached, SimpliSafe blankets your home in protection, just like Sauce Gardner and DJ Reed and Michael Carter II. They do it with advanced sensors, though, instead of great coverage. And they do it for every room, window, and door. HD security cameras for inside and outside your home. There are smarter ways to detect motion that only alert you when the threat is real. And they even have hazard sensors that instantly detect fires, floods, and other threats to your home. Customize the perfect system for your home in just a few minutes at simplisafe.com/lockedonnfl. Save 20% on your SimpliSafe security system when you sign up for an interactive monitoring plan and get your first month free. Again, visit simplisafe.com/lockedonnfl to learn more. There's no safe like SimpliSafe. Crossover Thursday here on the Locked On Podcast Network. As always, great joining my friend Mike Debate of Locked On Patriots. I'm John from Locked On Jets. Mike, it's prediction time. Who wins this game between these rivals?
For the first time in a long while, John, I really had to toil for a long period of time on this one. The New England Patriots right now are an enigmatic team in a lot of ways. There is seedlings of a team that has the talent on both sides of the ball to be able to compete for a playoff spot. And I'm not saying that they're going to be a juggernaut of years past. You and I both know that's certainly not the case. But there is a sufficient amount of experience and a sufficient amount of skill set on offense and on defense that can carry this team into a situation where they can be competitive with any team that they go up against. Bottom line, they're going up against a Jets team right now that is playing at a very high level. They're playing with a lot of confidence. They're extremely well coached, great quarterback play, and very, very strong defensive play. That is going to be something that if the New England Patriots can pull this out, it's going to show us a lot about what this team is capable of. The Jets right now are playing at such a high level, and they're in their home stadium. It's going to be extremely, extremely tough for me to pick against them. I'm going to be a homer here in this regard because I'm going to say that the Patriots are able to right the ship because of the fact that I think they're going to be they're going to have a lot of a bad taste in their mouth, basically, is what it comes down to. I think if the Patriots win this, they win this in a very, very tight game. I'm going to go with a final score in this one of 24-21 New England, but bottom line, if the Jets come in and make this one ugly early, or if they win a close game, I think it's certainly possible. My prediction is in no way any disrespect to the New York Jets, who are playing phenomenal football right now.
Mike, it's very funny because for years I feel like I've been one of the more popular opposing hosts on these crossover shows because you could never pick the Jets. I mean, how could you pick the Jets in like any game after week 3 years past? So it's been exciting this year. I've been able to actually predict the Jets and believe it. And amazingly enough, Mike, I'm 7-0 this year in my picks. I did pick the 2 games that they lost. I did think opening day they'd lose to the Ravens. I thought that they'd lose to the Bengals week 3. Now, a couple of those times I said, and I even said it at the time, I said I was being a homer because I felt the game was a toss up. It did that against Cleveland. It did that against Pittsburgh. I agree I think this will be a close game. I think that these teams are closer than their records would indicate. I think the Patriots are a little bit better than the record would indicate. I think that the Jets, I really like where the Jets are right now. I don't know that they're 5-2 good. I think they're good. I don't know that they're 5-2 good. There are a couple things I like about this game for the Jets. First of all, I like the fact I think you always have to like it when you're playing a home game against a team on a short week. That's always an advantage. Now, New England obviously has Bill Belichick, so if there's any team that has the coaching to overcome that, it's the Patriots. But another factor is, and listen, this is me prognosticating. I don't have any insider information on what the crowd's going to be like. But I can just tell this Jets fan base has been waiting for a game like this for so long. And I know they've played 3 home games so far, but nobody really had a sense that this was going to be a special season for the Jets up to this point. It was still kind of a wait and see situation in this fan base. It was, how good is this team really going to be? There's confidence now. And I think in any situation when you've been down for a long time and it feels like you're finally putting it together, there's just a little bit extra the crowd gives you because this fan base has been waiting for years and years and years to have a game where it felt like the Jets were in the mix in the AFC playoffs. And the fact the Patriots are coming a division rival, obviously this is a really bitter rivalry. I think it adds a little bit. I think this crowd, I don't think there are many games where the crowd makes that big of a difference. There was actually one of these teams played in 2009. It was Rex Ryan's first home game where I felt like the crowd made a difference in that game. I feel like this could be that type of game where the crowd really plays an impact. I like the way the Jets are playing. I don't love lacking Breece Hall or Elijah Vera Tucker, but I love the way this Jets defense is playing. I think the Patriots have some questions against the run that the Jets might be able to exploit even without Breece Hall because they still have Michael Carter. They have James Robinson who they just traded for. I'm expecting a tight game. I'm going Jets 20, Patriots 17.
Excellent. And you know what? At the end of the day, John, I think we both agree that these two teams are going to be giving it all they got out on the field. And bottom line, that's all you can ask for when it comes to both of these fan bases. I wholeheartedly agree with you about the fan base in New York and in New Jersey right now. They've been waiting for a moment like this. They've been waiting for a game like this, especially against the New England Patriots. They're going to be into it. So the Patriots are going to have to tune that out. And that's a big time tune out if you're New England and Bill Belichick. He's got to get them ready for it. And ultimately, I mean, if the Patriots are going to come out and play anywhere near how they did on Monday night, this one will get much more ugly than it was on Monday night for the New England Patriots against the Bears. So always an honor, always a pleasure when we do these crossovers, John. Folks, check him out, John Butchko at Locked On Jets. Locked On Jets available wherever you get your podcasts and also available on YouTube. So be sure to smash that subscribe button, whether you're a Patriots fan looking for a little enemy recon, or if you're a Jets fan, you're probably already following this great man and the great work that he does each and every day. If you're a Jets fan and you want to do a little enemy recon of your own, you can check me out on Locked On Patriots this week. Definitely some good guests and some good inside information that I think you'll find very interesting heading into this Week 8 matchup. But bottom line, we are both proud to be a part of the great team that we have here on the Locked On Podcast Network. And now that you've made us your first listen, folks, make your second listen the Locked On Today podcast, where all of the great stories from every sport all over the landscape are definitely covered each and every day in under 30 minutes. As always, those are available on YouTube and also available wherever you get your podcasts. On behalf of John Butchko of Locked On Jets, I'm Mike Debate, host of Locked On Patriots. Thank you, everyone, for taking time out to make us a part of your daily NFL coverage. Stay safe, stay well, be the change you wish to see in the world. Have a great day, everyone, and enjoy the game on Sunday.